day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program now Hope Alive. Yes, Hope Day. I greet every obedient and well-meaning Nigerians worldwide, wherever on a day, on a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone. They will don't come again for Hope Alive program. So wherever on a day, make una give us thumbs up, like, share, so that you go reach other obedience wherever they make them know say Hope Day. Coming up at this very hour, the highlights where we get from Rivers State, the crisis has deepened. The feud between Fubara and the Wike is taken into another dimension, as the Attorney General of Rivers State has resigned. And amid the issues of Tinubu's involvement in that very saga and the crisis going there, we'll bring that very one come. Then we get another thing, so we say they come out from the Kaduna State bombing victims, where they don't talk, say they don't sue Nigerian government, and they look for 33 billion compensation. Well, some of them don't come out, talk, say no, they write that very particular suit, they follow, so we go carry and come. Then we get other things, so we say they follow as Ari Dokubodon talk, say Tinubu's government saying a nightmare it be, and the worst that Nigeria or Ijaw people ever had. The person where they shout before talk, say on your mandate. Well, all these things now we get to talk. I have Esther in the house, I have Princess, and our own UC Maxwell there for Zoom to analyze all the things that we want to talk today.
Yeah, so greetings to my fellow obedient and well-meaning Nigerians. My people, welcome to Obedient Family Television on Top Hope Alive Club today. So, well, very interesting days we have ahead of political affairs in Rivers State. It be like say the student go beat a master for swimming in rivers. Anyway, we have lots and lots of more to discuss. Welcome and join us.
Greetings, well-meaning Nigerians and fellow obedience worldwide. Welcome back to Hope Alive. Attorney General of Rivers State has resigned based on personal principles. Something smells fishy here. A lot is yet to be unfolded in Rivers State. Well, sit tight as we discuss.
Okay, we will begin to go straight. And once again, obedience worldwide. We all depend on your likes and your shares to reach other obedience to know how worse and how bad this government is doing. And then, remember, we are the opposition and we have to bring them to account and all of this. So, what is Tinubu's involvement or his take on the crisis that is deepening in Rivers State? Well, we'll be bringing some of the things that are coming up as our own UC Maxwell on Zoom is said to explain the issues or the legal implication as the Attorney General of Rivers State suddenly resigned. So, Maxwell, I'm coming to you right away. So can you please, as you can see from the screen, we have a notice of resignation, the horrible Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Rivers State, and he cites, let me quickly read out the letter to you. He said, the above subject refers, I hereby give your Excellency notice of my resignation as the horrible Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Rivers State, with effect from the date on this letter. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, my resignation from the said office is based purely on personal principles. I wish to thank Your Excellency for the opportunity and privilege granted me to serve in your administration as a member of the cabinet. My family and I are indebted to Your Excellency in gratitude. I wish Your Excellency a successful tenure. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Always, Professor Zacchaeus Adagno-san. Now, he said as at this date, Maxwell, that he is resigning as at today. But at the front of this very letter, I can see that that very letter bears the date of November 14, 2023. So, I don't know, Maxwell, whether this resignation was dated back or it is a resignation of today, but this news is actually coming now. Please, can you also tell us the implication of his resignation now, and also the fact that the budget that was sent in, there's insinuations that he resigns as a result of the five-man state assembly that has received the budget that they sent in, the constitutional issues involved. Please, can you expand on these two things for us?
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Kanu. It's a pleasure to be here once again. Good evening to Nigerians, wherever you may be. What we are seeing coming out from Rivers State is still part of the politics that have been going on in the states. So, has resigned from office. It is important to remember that this same Attorney General served under Wike during his stint as from 2015 down till 2023, and he continued that duty. Now, though the date on the document is bearing the date of last month, November 14th of this year. However, I want to believe that that was probably a clerical error. We cannot confirm for now, because this is the first time that this information is making it to the news. So we want to believe that this is just a recent development and it is probably a clerical error. But away from the date that that document was sent in, I just see Fubara here trying as much as possible to cover his tracks. Was purely for personal reasons. They were related to, personal decisions which he had taken. But it is important for us to highlight the underpinnings to it, the political play that has been going on. Recall also that there have been attempts to remove the Speaker of the House that was loyal, or that he by 27 lawyers to, decamp from their parties to the APC, which I want to believe that Wike is a part of currently, even though there is no authoritative membership to the APC for Wike. So I think that this is not really personal, as he may have made it known. I think that this resignation was as a result of pressure, probably from Fubara, who wanted him to voluntarily resign so that he can put people in power that are loyal to him. Mr. Kanu, you cannot compare a man who had served as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice under Wike for about 8 years and who is just serving for a few months under Sim Fubara. You would know that there is a lot of loyalty to Wike, and Fubara is only trying to be careful here to make sure that those who are part of his cabinet, his inner cabinet, that they are loyal to himself in order to forestall any possibility of impeaching him or removing him from office. So this is just a political move.
Yes, yes, a political move indeed. And we also have some people who are that Tinubu may not just be unconnected to the happenings in the state, because it's really day 3 and things continue to unfold in Rivers State. I want you, Maxwell, to take a listen to a report that is emanating from Rivers State, wherein they said a whole lot of things about this demolition of this thing, and a report actually coming from Rivers State today. Let's take a listen so that you can comment on that. They're talking more about maybe Tinubu's involvement, because as they say, Tinubu has the capacity to actually position.
See that the people of Rivers, starting with the elders, I can tell you most elders in Rivers State are compromised. I'm very sorry to say. I will not want to mention names because it will not be too fair to mention names. Maybe at the appropriate time we are going to do so. And I'm very close to most of them, but most of them have been compromised. And so they've sold their dignity, their age, their pride for pottage, for money. I must tell you that. But having said this, yes, a lot of us are really peeved that the governor is, the former governor who is now the minister for the FCT, is fully involved in the whole crisis. In fact, he orchestrated it. And that is because he wants a situation where the Rivers State governor will forever be subservient to him. And that is the reason. But let me quickly also state this, that we expected that before now, Mr. President, who is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the father of the nation, ought to have intervened in this matter. His leadership should be born upon the toga of truth, candor, neutrality, and pacifying logic as a president. He shouldn't be seen to be biased. He shouldn't be seen to be partisan. And because we have the feeling, and most people will have that feeling too, rightly or wrongly. You see, meaning is not in the message, but in the message user. So most people will think that Wike is having the gumption to do whatever he's doing simply because he's the minister of the Federal Capital Territory and he has the backing of Mr. President. And if Mr. President wants to correct that impression, then he has to call Wike to order. Even if it means dismissing him from it, let him dismiss him so that he can extricate himself from all this saga, because it is very embarrassing, really quite embarrassing. What is the problem here?
So, Maxwell, as you can hear from the reports coming out from Rivers State, Tinubu's involvement in this is seriously, people are actually talking about it currently, is trending that Tinubu is connected to what is happening in Rivers State. What is your take on this as regards to he's just keeping mute, being quiet on all these happenings? And we know there are serious things that are happening, especially pulling down and demolition of that state complex. Maxwell. Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria can interfere in the affairs of a state. Now, a state is a sovereign entity, although part of a collective entity. That is Nigeria. It has its own political and democratic structure. It has its own executive. It has its own legislature, and it has its own judicial arm of government. So there's actually a limit to which the president can interfere. But when we look at what is happening, I don't think that there is any necessity currently for Tinubu to interfere in what is going on. Although, on the flip side of it, a lot of people have come out to say that Tinubu supports the position of Nyesom Wike, based on the fact that Nyesom Wike enjoys appointments under him as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and the fact that he played a huge role in bringing Tinubu into power. Even if this escalates more than it already is, be sure that Tinubu will not interfere in the politics of Rivers State. And for me personally, I don't think that it has gotten to a level where Bola Tinubu needs to interfere. What has happened? We have 27 people from the State House of Assembly. It is not usual, not something that needs to be president of the federal Nigeria. Another thing is the demolition of the state, the House of Assembly building. It is not also unnatural. In fact, as we speak, National Assembly is undergoing a lot of renovation and reconstruction. So these are not really issues. There's actually no war. There is actually no major clash. There has not been any killing or any shooting that has been going on in Rivers State. And I don't think that there's any need for Tinubu. For those who are calling on Tinubu to intervene, I think that they should be directive. They should be direct about it. They should actually be calling Wike, or they should be calling Tinubu to call Wike to order. He will not be able to interfere in what is going on in Rivers State. All he needs to do is to call Wike to order, because Wike is simply using federal powers to interfere with what is happening in Rivers State. And who is the leadership of the federal powers, the military, the police, and everything, the executive arm of government at the federal level? It's definitely Bola Tinubu, and I think all he needs to do is call Wike to order. There is no need for him. You may call that interference, but I don't think it is really interfering in the politics of. He doesn't need to even call Wike-Fubara. There's no need for that at all. He needs to call Wike to respect himself. He's no longer governor of Rivers State, and he should respect the person who is now the governor of Rivers State.
Okay, well, some people will seem to agree with you, Maxwell, and some people may disagree in this instance of whether that building is due for demolition or not. That's one, because it was built some years back. We know most of the buildings that have been built are much more older than that has not been pulled down. And again, Tinubu's quietness is really affecting most people that speak from that River State and others, especially the one that just came up today of Asare Dokubo, also calling Tinubu names and also saying his administration is the worst. But he also mentioned something very instructive about the feud between Wike and Fubara as one of the things that that Tinubu has closed his ears to. So many people think that Tinubu, who has, Tinubu as his, Wike as his boy in Abuja there, made a governor of Abuja to, deal with this thing. So some people do think the other way around. However, I want you to hear what is his name, Asare Dokubo, also had to say about Tinubu's interference or non-interference, so to speak, of the feud between Wike and Fubara. Let's take a listen to him and just come back to you quickly.
This is the worst government. That's the feeling of the job people. If nobody is telling you, as a friend, I will tell you, the job people feel this is the worst government for them. This is a nightmare for them. And when we were voting, when we were campaigning for you, a lot of the job people called me, President, you don't know Tinubu. You know everything about Tinubu. Tinubu is your friend. No? We hope it's not going to look the other way. And I assured everybody, I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible. And today, the people are asking me, are you still on that if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible? River State is the litmus test. If there is going to be any fire, it will start in River State. I cannot stop them. I, as an individual, I cannot stop them. I cannot even stand on their way because they will shove me aside. Let me tell you, nobody, if anybody is giving you assurance that he can stand in the gap between you and the job people, when the job people feel that your government is against them, then that person is your worst enemy, because the job people will crush him. Whoever he is, whether it's an Ijaw man or not, the job people will crush him. The earlier you call your minister and the governor to Abuja again to maintain the status quo, the better it will be. The better it will be.
So, Maxwell, you don't hear Asare Dokubo, even when some people said he's not to be taken seriously. But Asare Dokubo haven't gone to the villa, came out of the villa, sang songs for Tinubu and all of that, you know, saying on his mandate they stand, is coming out now, notwithstanding what is happening, that Tinubu's government is the worst government that Nigerians are experiencing right away. Is it that waiting this 5 months we're in? Because I recall that he Buna as at that time, you know, scaring people in Abuja for Tinubu, and that. What do you think actually changed for him to say that Tinubu's administration is the worst that the people are experiencing? Maxwell.
Well, Mr. Kanu, to correct you, it is not me. By 29th of this month, Tinubu would have been in office for 7 months, and of course, we have not seen anything tangible from his government. But for somebody like Asari Dokubo, who supported Bola Tinubu, he was aware of the criminal records that Bola Tinubu holds. He was equally aware of the style of government that Tinubu operates, one that just directs the monies from the government down to the private pockets, down to his personal pockets. They were aware of these things. He was very much aware. In fact, Asari Dokubo camped outside of the courtroom for months while the case was in court. Daily, they were coming out to the court to contest the election.
The environment provides them with the money and the resources to carry out the activities without without blinking their eyes. You don't want to hear this naked truth. Okay, don't hear it.
In fact, if you remember the first video he did about the fight between Fubara and Wike, he said that he was not going to make any comments and that he was not going to support anybody, that it is none of his business. I'm surprised now that it has become his business, it has become the business of the Ijaw people, and that he is now calling on Bola Tinubu to call the governor. I don't think anybody needs to call Fubara to Aso Rock to come and talk about these issues. Wike should be told to leave Rivers State and the Rivers people and their commonwealth alone. It should be a clear statement. Nobody should be calling Sim Fubara to Aso Rock to hold any meeting. Wike should be told to forget about Rivers State. He's no longer governor of Rivers State, but now minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and he should focus on those duties.
You don't know Tinubu. You know everything about Tinubu.
If he is not at the center of the events, if he is not at the center of the month, at the center of power, at the center of attraction, nothing happens. All of a sudden, he remembers that Ijaw people have a right. Ijaw people should enjoy good governance. This is why we call on well-meaning Nigerians to always the people. At the end of the day, it's the people against the government. So, for Asari Dokubo, nobody should pay him any heed. I think that the necessary thing that should be done is Wike should be called to, otherwise Sim Fubara focuses on governing the.
Okay, Maxwell, thank you very much for being with us, and your analysis is top-notch. Thank you for the time and all that. So let's come back to studio. As he say, my people for studio, don't they wait for, make we come back, make we discuss this thing as it is. So Esther, let me start with you. What can you tell me about this resignation, the insinuation of Tinubu's ear blocking on what is happening in Rivers State, and again about Wike and the feud with Fubara?
Now, okay, Mr. Kanu, to start with, let me start with the resignation. You know, this resignation looks like is a more of resign or you are sacked. So maybe honorably decided to now resign on his own. As it stands now, he could be a mole to Wike. So for everything, all things being equal, he just honorably resigned instead of being sacked or disgraced out of the office shamefully. Now, coming to Tinubu, we all know that as a god. In fact, we already know the role he played in Lagos state government. I mean, probably Wike is even taking after him as his minister, FCT minister. You understand? So I don't even know what he's going to say in situation like this. In the sense that he was a part and parcel of it. This was actually what played out in Rivers. His own was that he was just playing it underground. He was quiet, was not being bragging and arrogant, just like what we are saying in Wike right now. Now, the third one is on Asari Dokubo. It be like say the corn wey dey inside him pocket don't finish for him pocket. Okay. Before you know they shall say on your mandate. It be like say leg don dey spend am now. The mandate no dey again.
If you do anyhow,
you give you anyhow. Na turn by turn, na jagaba and turn. So he should just calm down and wait for his own turn. All we have to say to Asari Dokubo, calm down and wait for your turn. Your turn is coming. Yeah. I know this man is a very unserious person that, in fact, I don't even take him serious because he only supports the government when it's in his favor. When you have something, an envelope, anything going under the table for him, that's when he supports the government. So he just speaks for himself and not speaking on behalf of the Ijaw people. He said he's going to stand on Tinubu's government. That's the best. You should continue to enjoy it. You know, say bad governance now turn by now like a fan, electric fan, standing fan. You blow it to the other person. So it's his turn now. You should enjoy the mandate. And now coming to Wike, we all know Wike is a very shameless, one of the shameless politicians we have, who thinks that the internet forgets. Now, there was I think a video I saw sometime where he was condemning Matawale, the Zamfara state governor. He was condemning him why he have to deflect from PDP to APC. In fact, everything.
I think he said in that video that he would never do such a thing.
Exactly, and you know that everything Wike said in the past years is what he's doing right now.
Exactly, and it's not just about him. Asking his people that he brought into office as in the 27 or 25, so to speak, House Assembly members. It means it is not just him moving to APC. He has actually forced 25 persons to go into a party that they are not interested in going into, because definitely Rivers State had never been APC, you understand? Yes. So that's why I'm saying that he is. And then talking about the previous promises or assertions coming out from Wike, we know he is a compulsive liar, you understand? He is a habitual liar. Let's put it that way. So for people who believe him, I think they are mistaken. That video you are talking about, Matawale, let's even take a listen to that so people will understand what we are talking about. The Matawale's video where he said that Matawale moved from PDP and entered the APC, and that such a people shouldn't be trusted.
And he was even saying that if he leaves, that he cannot disappoint his people. If he leaves PDP, that it will not be well with him. He said a lot of things.
I know in addition to that, Mr. Kanu, in addition to that, in an advanced democracy, people like the likes of ex-governor Wike, the likes of Matawale should not even be taken serious. They should not be given any political appointment at all, because civilians will not trust them from their past words and from their past action. They should not be trusted at all. They should not be trusted in any way at all. So I don't even know what, for now, Governor Wike should just, in fact, ex-Governor Wike should just lie low and concentrate on the affairs of the FCT rather than tricking his mouth into Fubara, living all the way from FCT into Fubara affairs in Rivers State.
Yes, and I feel like Fubara is making the seat very hot for Wike's loyalties in Rivers State definitely. Now, because we all know that it's not possible for anybody that is in power right now to just go out of and resign without any reason. And you can imagine the reason the Attorney General gave. He said it's because of personal principles.
Okay, let's leave them with their principle. We know it is not like Maxwell said. Zacchaeus Adango is a person who has worked with Wike, and I think it is wise for Fubara to relieve him of his duties, not citing those distance. And if you look at the date on that very letter, you'll find out that it's 14th of November. It means that this very letter had prepared beforehand. It has been there. The man has been told to resign a long time. He's just throwing in. Maybe he refused to sign it, as the case might be. So if you can check the date of this letter, you will believe that this very letter has been projected for this man to resign since, honorably to resign. But I think he's just throwing the towel a month, exactly a month today. Let's take it like that because that's what we see on the letter. Moving forward, Rivers State people are the people who are suffering from all of this because the governance that Fubara should be given to them may have eluded them. And again, I think some people in Rivers State are really not happy with Wike right now, and they're actually thinking about not letting him come into Rivers State again. But let's take a listen to the video of our people in Rivers State and the events that are really embarrassing. They said it's a pity for Rivers State. Let's take a listen to that video from our Rise TV.
Sort of thing. So let it be known and let it be clear, even to the president, and this is very key, that the federal government understands this. The NSA should understand this. The Inspector General of Police, the security arms should understand that what is going on in Rivers State, if it is allowed to continue where a sitting governor is not allowed, and then we have people who have declared themselves boys or supporters of a minister that is in federal capital territory, not a governor. He's no more a governor. And so all these issues of structures and all these issues of support for Wike, I mean, I don't see why we should still be burdened with the high-handedness that Rivers people seem to have lived with, you know, for the sake of peace in the past 8 years, for us to continue to live under this strain when Nyesom Wike is not any longer the governor. It's unacceptable.
Do you have an idea of the agreement between the Minister of the FCT and the Governor of Rivers State? What was the agreement, and why in just less than a year in office, the governor has decided to renege on that particular agreement? Didn't he look at the fine lines before he agreed to whatever agreement that was made between him and the FCT minister?
Well, to be honest, first when the governor was approached, I just hope the clarity of what I have to say now will penetrate your minds and logic capture your judgment. When the governor was first approached, he declined. He wasn't really ready. Then there was so much pressure from Wike, best known to Wike, for the governor to say, eventually he accepted the office to run for it. He emerged as governor of the state. Probably they must have reached one accommodation or the other. It is natural. When I get into office, when you get into office, I make you a governor, you're going to kill my father. I'll tell you no problem. I'm not saying this is what I know, but these things could happen. When you get into office, you're going to sleep with my wife. I tell you no problem. But when I get into office, I'll have a mind of my own. I'm not going to kill your father. I'm not going to do any of those things. Probably they have such agreements. I'm not saying those agreements we are there or we are not there. I'm not trying to tell you they happened or they did not happen. No, probably they did. But the fact is this: when you consider the 8 years of the misrule of Governor Nyesom Wike, and when you consider within 6 months what the new governor has done, we are talking of the Songhai farm. We are talking of, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, we are talking of the Songhai farm. We are talking of other human capital development efforts being put in place by the governor. And when you juxtapose that with the 8 years of the misrule of the former governor, I mean, you have no choice. Your hands are just fettered than to love the governor. And when you talk of one of the problems the governor is having with Nyesom Wike is what? The issue of the Songhai farm. He's trying to resuscitate it. Why must you go to resuscitate one of those things that we abandoned? I abandoned, because the Songhai farm was the project, the brainchild of the former governor, Rotimi Amechi. He abandoned it. That of Bukuma, he sold it. Then number two again, how dare you appoint a commissioner without my consent? We are talking of information commissioner. You know, it's a portmanteau of issues, not just one thing. How dare you? Then the third one again is the governor got tired of going to Wike's house in order to do, we're talking of signing of mandate now. You have to go and get imprimatur permission from the former governor to sign your mandate. This is known, it's no secret. It's known to all. You cannot do anything. Nobody visits government house. At a point, the governor was almost incommunicado because you dare not go to government house without getting clearance from the governor. A former serving commissioner on radio station in Rivers State, when they asked him a question, who are you?
Yeah, so we have heard several things that are coming out from Rivers State. So with this current resignation, we're expecting some more people who are involved with Wike in the administration of Fubara to resign in the coming days. Maybe their resignation letters are already with them, and we expect that Fubara deals with that. And again, for some people who are making in the comment section on the WhatsApp chat platforms about Fubara, we're really not interested in Fubara, so to speak, nor what is happening. We're interested in the man Wike who rigged the election that we massively voted for PO in Rivers State. And that's the reason why we are bringing all of this, to know that the people who who has dealt, gave us a deep blow is taking it back, because they say the evil that men do, not just live after them, but they live in them, and they will live to see it. So, yes, and Wike has done his 60-something birthday, and we can see that even Fubara wished him a happy birthday felicitation. We all see what he wrote in that his X account. So you can check out Fubara's X account, wishing him and calling him his Oga and his master. But he have learned so much from his master to break all his wings. And we also got information and report of also what how Wike was actually taking the funds from Rivers State that generated these very issues and feud in the first place. We'll be coming your way again tomorrow with that. So, time don't they give us signal, make we carry our kayak come out for studio. But before we come out, the people where they watch us now, make una know come out, make una know like and share. Make una for like and share, so that other well-meaning Nigerians and obedient worldwide go know say the people will be say they rig our election, then don't they get their own water. Now the thing where would they project for this? Please like and share. Until tomorrow when we come your way again. Bye for now.